What's up? Welcome into your Daily Buckeye Blitz for a Friday. Last Friday of the month, January 26, 2024. Hope everybody's having a good week, good end to the week. What was I going to tell you? Today, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, YouTube Live. Be there. We are talking about the cheaters. Harbaugh making a run for the border, kind of running west. Go west, young man, and you can escape all the NCAA charges. Well, you can, but your school can't. So anyways, we're going to be talking about that today at 4:30. And don't forget Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, me, Jeff, and Sean will be talking about it as well, plus all the other happenings in the world of Buckeye land. So get in there. I'm going to get your guys' feedback. I think it's a cowardly move. I think it's a pussy move by Harbaugh to run now. Yeah, you could say he went out on top, but what kind of bag of shit did he just leave Michigan with? The cheaters. What a mess. What a fucking train wreck. He just left his school that he loves so much that he pretends that, and he held them over a fucking flame for how many years, saying he would never go back to the NFL. I need all these special caveats in my contract, immunity. You know, they were going to make him one of the highest paid coaches in the country, or the highest, plus immunity and all this bullshit. And he just, I don't know, man. I think it's a shit move. Yeah, you got 3 in a row against Ohio State. You still got a losing record against Ohio State too, though, bud. And on top of that, the big mess. And he's going to take some of his boys with him. Minner's probably going. If they take the strength coach, that's a big loss. He's definitely going to take his son, who was in cahoots with Stallions. So Stallions named him in text messages. So, yeah, kind of a bitch move in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. We'll get into it more deeper this afternoon, and I'll really tell you what I think. If that wasn't a precursor. Today, though, I want to recap. I want to do a show on each of the 2023 freshmen. So today we're going to start with the receiver room, Brandon Inniss. I want to talk about him, what kind of a guy he was coming out of high school, and then kind of project forward as to what we're looking for, what the expectation kind of could be. I don't want to put too high of expectations on him, but there is some history there for the slot receiver to really blow up as a true sophomore, which he will be going into this 2024 season. So let's get into it. Here we go. All right, Brandon Inniss. Let me pull up your profile here. 24/7 Sports profile. 5'11 and a half, 198, coming out of American Heritage High School down at Fort Lauderdale. He was a 9.855 5-star, number 5 receiver in the class, number 35 player nationally, number 9 player in Florida. So his scouting profile went like this. Inniss is someone that absolutely hates to lose and will do whatever it takes to win. He has evolved as a wide receiver over his high school years. Seems to be settling in as a game-changing inside receiver that can work the entire route tree. He fires out of his stance, can create separation with his quick feet, sharp cuts, and head fakes. Sure-handed and attacks the ball in the air. He can turn into a yak machine at the next level, as he isn't afraid to lower shoulder pads and run through defenders. Remember when John Madden used to do that shit? In 2022, he had a weird junior season where he was forced into action because of an injury to their quarterback at Heritage, so American Heritage. He accounted for 1,253 yards of total offense. 341 of those was receiving, 308 rushing, and probably ran mostly like wildcat, shit like that, and was responsible for 11 touchdowns for his team that they made the second round of the Florida 5A playoffs, which is a big deal. He's not going to run a 4.4 laser time 40-yard dash or anything like that, but he's tested well in other areas like 4.26 in the short shuttle and a 31-inch vertical. And he should continue to improve that 40-yard dash at Ohio State, of course, getting there and getting in there with the body by Mick training. He's the kind of guy that rises to the level of the competition. They went against national powerhouses just in Florida alone, like St. Thomas Aquinas, IMG Academy. And he has the all conference type of potential in college, and he could be a day one or day two NFL guy in the draft. So they rated his skills like this on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best, obviously. Route running a 10, toughness a 9, ball skills 9, hands a 9, yards after catch 8, speed 8, and size an 8. And as a senior, he caught a school record 66 passes for 1,244 yards and 14 TDs. He actually committed to Oklahoma, you might remember, back in August of 2021. Then a few months later, decommitted, reopened his commitment, and committed to the Buckeyes in June of 2022. He enrolled in June of 2023 at Ohio State, so he missed winter workouts and stuff. But so what are we looking for, or what do we see in 2023 from Brandon Inniss as a true freshman? Since he didn't enroll till summer, they got him listed at 6 foot 207. The 207 seems a little hefty to me, but maybe not. So he missed out on winter workouts, spring practice, all that in 2023. And he's behind a loaded receiver room, especially at the slot. But he still impressed his teammates with his effort and ability. Emeka said this about him back in August last year. Quote, Brandon came in the last out of those 4 receivers, and he's picking up the offense extremely fast. He's a joy to be around, but he's such a great competitor. Him and Carnell Tate go back and forth a lot, which is really funny to be a part of and be around. But Brandon is a huge playmaker. He goes up and attacks the ball. He's strong, he's confident, and he goes out there and he just balls. He just tries the hardest. He tries his best, and there's never a half-hearted rep with him. So a lot of what they said in the scouting report, right? That's coming from a teammate, Emeka Egbuka. So in 2023, you had Emeka and Xavier Johnson, so snaps are hard to come by in the slot. Inniss had a total of 32. A lot of them were on special teams, not of that 32, but I didn't count the special teams snaps. But against Indiana, he had 2. Youngstown State, just special teams. 5 against Western Kentucky. Did not play against Notre Dame. Maryland, special teams. Purdue, 6. That's where he caught the big 55-yard bomb. Penn State, special teams. Wisconsin, special teams. Rutgers, special teams. Sparty, 4 reps, 4 snaps. Minnesota, 6. And against the Cheaters, special teams only. He did have 9. That was most of the season against Mizzou in the Cotton Bowl. So total of 32 on offense. So he played in every game except the Notre Dame game. And he only saw snaps on offense in 6 games. Most snaps were on special teams, like I said. But when you play special teams as a true freshman, that's a good sign of things to come in the future. That means that you're being noticed. B, you're doing the right things and putting in the effort and the hard work. And C, you're probably going to get a bump the following season if all goes well. So he only caught the one pass as a true freshman. It went for 58 yards against Purdue in the touchdown. Even though he only had about 32 snaps last year, Inniss is the Buckeyes' 4th most experienced receiver coming back in 2024. Ahead of him are Emeka, Carnell Tate, and Jaden Ballard. So he's 4th on that list. So the question is, can he start in the slot in 2024? That's my question. In the Ryan Day offense, though, the average season stats for a starting slot receiver is 65 catches, 892 yards, 8 touchdowns. Just for Doesn't matter what year the guy is, but that's average. Now, the average season stats for a starting slot receiver as a true sophomore in the Ryan Day offense. So true sophomore, second year, 71 receptions, 1,160 yards, and 8 touchdowns. So quite a jump up there as a sophomore. So if Emeka returns to the slot, that as a senior, that obviously affects the rotation and everything. But for Inniss, this is good news that it's a much less crowded receiver room than last year. And who knows, maybe Emeka moves outside. They expand his versatility, which is huge with the NFL. They love guys that can move around. So that's a big deal. And maybe Inniss does turn into be the starter at the slot. You do have Bryson Rogers, who just popped back out of the portal to the Buckeyes. So he'll be in that slot role as well. But things are setting up nicely. Brian Hartline did have an interesting comment here prior to the Cotton Bowl. He said, quote, Brandon was in a good spot where you get in June, did a great job catching up quickly, frankly, in a deep room, but still learning. And to have Xavier and Emeka and have these guys doing a good job, that was really important. Carnell playing a part, and then we had some injuries, and being able to move Carnell into the slot. I mean, we can do whatever you want with him, but whatever you want to do. So that's a good sign of a good player. So Brandon is doing everything he needs to do. And I think his future is bright. So my opinion, 2024 could be a major breakout year for Brandon Inniss. We'll see. But that's all I got for you today. Don't forget, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, we're talking cheaters and Harbaughs. All right, talk to you later. Go Bucks.